Right, let's talk about King Charles, because his cancer treatment will continue to next year. The Palace apparently remaining optimistic. His recovery is moving in a positive direction. We've seen today on the front page of the Sun newspaper, and of course other newspapers as well, that we have this picture of William and his family. They've had a particularly tough time this year, their worst year ever, the Sun calls it. And King Charles now, his 76-year-old health still being managed, but moving in a positive direction. Rupert Bell is with us, Talk's royal correspondent. Rupert, good news by the sound of things, but perhaps cautiously optimistic from the Palace?
Well, I think they've always been cautiously optimistic. They've always said it's a managed recovery. Their problem is probably keeping him from doing everything. But he's been, again, he was out today, and he was asked today, how is he? And he says, well, I'm not dead. I think it was a variation on the theme of the quote. But he's determined to try and be as visible as possible throughout his managed recovery. He wants to plan to be out on the road as much as is possible. He's planning trips overseas as well. So he's 76 years of age. He was frustrated, that he's not been able to get out. And when they were sort of after the cancer diagnosis, he wanted to try and be seen as much as is possible, because he knows the monarchy is we need to be seen by the British public, and he is determined to try and do that within whatever constraints the doctors put upon him. But it has been good to see him out and about, whether it be today at other functions and carrying on some meeting and greeting various people as they arrive in this country. So he has done as much as he's physically felt able. And obviously, I think today was the last of his engagements before he heads up to Sandringham for what should be a pretty big family reunion, minus one or two members of that family for much publicised reasons.
Well, yes, indeed, Andrew and Harry not going to be there. Let me just ask you about the picture. Speaking of people who've had cancer this year, obviously the Princess of Wales has been battling that lovely picture of her with William and the three smiling children there. Looks like a fairly summary picture, a picture of hope and joy, the Sun says. William and Kate beam with the kids in their official Christmas card after the family endured its hardest year. It has been a very tough year for the royals overall, for lots of reasons, Rupert.
Yeah, well, I think probably, if you think this time last year, they were going into the Christmas break and we just assumed that, it was business as usual, but but then it was within 2 or 3 weeks, and obviously the thing changed, because both were diagnosed, had to go into hospital, at the Princess of Wales and the King at exactly the same time. It couldn't have been both of them. And obviously, then that really was a moment that rocked the royal family. And how do they manage going forward? How do we make sure that we can carry on as normally as possible, given that it's a fairly pared down royal family, again, as we know, for much publicised reasons. But they had to regroup, and it was a very difficult time for them, as it would be for any family if you've got that kind of news coming in from both, in terms of William's case, his father and his wife, and how do you manage going forward? So it wasn't easy. So hopefully the various parts of the family going into this Christmas break, they will be able to come out the other side. And you refer to that Christmas card that the Waleses put out. That was taken when they were on their summer break. That time they also released a video as a family showing the children enjoying themselves in the summer break, and that photograph, I think, has come from that particular shoot as well. But it shows the family with very much a united front. So hopefully in Amner Hall, where they are, and that's why they missed the gathering yesterday for various members of the royal family, as they'd already begun their Christmas break, as the children had already broken up from school.
Rupert, thank you. That's Rupert Bell, Talk's royal correspondent. Appreciate your contribution this afternoon.